For 10,000 years, the command has stood unbroken. Stay away from humans. The warning rang through the aged whispered, in the halls of power etched into the darkest caverns of forbidden knowledge. No one defied it until now, no one dared to challenge. The Zir Dominionth Empire of blood and steel conquerors of 100 worlds. They laughed at the old decree. They regarded Earth as little more than an unclaimed prize, a residue of forgotten fear. Grand Admiral Kaiser stands on the bridge of the Sovereign Fang. The war dreadnought gazes down at the blue-green orb off Sol 3 with disdain, a primitive backwater. He sneered, his scaled lips curving into a smirk. They cower in the shadow of mythology. The bridge crew mumbled their agreement across the massive command deck. A holographic display projected battle simulations. All probable engagements showed a swift and complete victory. The Dominion fleet, a hammer crafted over millennia of conquest, had never known defeat. Earth was uncharted territory, but Kaiser had destroyed civilizations vastly more advanced. This will be no different. Hesed coldly deploy the forward fleet, he commanded. His voice pierced the silence like a razor. Let them witness the might of the Dominion. The fleet maneuvered with perfect precision. Thousands of warships advanced, forming a wall of death marching toward Earth. No response, no defenses, no energy surges, no planetary shields activating. It was incorrect. Even the weakest empires mustered some opposition. Still Earth remained silent. Care squinted. Displeasure crept into his voice. No response from their sensors. An officer, a sharp-eyed technician, Namajara, hesitated before speaking. Admiral, fear are no weapons locked on us. No fleet movements. A ripple of unease spread through the command staff. Kazerlod, they've accepted their fate. Open a channel. I want to hear their surrender. A deep hum permeated the bridge. The transmission linked. A message was conveyed, not words, not pleas. An ultimatum. Silence followed. Then the first ship vanished. Not destroyed, vaporized, no, it simply ceased to exist. The battleship Furiorn at the fleet's front sparkled under Sol's light. Then it was gone. No explosion, no wreckage, just empty space. Gasps filled the bridge. Zara's hands trembled over her console. We lost their edge. Creator to no debris. Kazers looked dark and life signs gone. Sensor glitcher in diagnostics. Then a second ship vanished, a third, a fourth. The captains howled as anarchy spread. Communication swear. Chaos commanders demanded answers. No enemy was visible, no attack detected, and yet ships dropped one by one like leaves caught in an invisible storm. Tenth voice came, a signal stolen through the fleet's comms, overriding every system. It was human, the ancients warner do. The voice was frigid. Harsh. Kezer's blood turned to ice. He should have listened. On the command deck, officer screamed evasive maneuvers, warp jumps, anything. But it was too late. Darkness hovered above them. A ship, no void appeared, no energy signature, no heat. It absorbed light like a black hole. Their revenant, the ghost ship commander Adrian Vuz, watched silent, lies cold as the void itself. They never saw us coming, he said. The Black Legion has waited for this moment. The shadows of history are awake. Phase 1 was complete. Begin. Phase 2. Adrian whispered. The revenant pulsed, and invisible waves spread like death. Dominion systems crashed. Ships turned on each other without commands, without reason. Shields collapsed. Weapons fired randomly. Engines failed on the Sovereign Fang. Kazar gripped his throne. Send Adastris call. He barked nothing. Then a message flashed on his screen. There will be no warnings. A piercing screech filled the air. The ship's view screen flickered. Then came the horror. Humans were boarding. No drop pods, nauticking tubes. They just appeared. Adaminian soldier raised his rifle. Fennis body twisted, crushed by an unseen force. Crew members dropped silently. No blood, no gunfire, just death. Kaiser gasped. What are they? Fenth screen changed. A human face appeared, cold, piercing. You think you can end the Dominion? Kaiser growled. In hatred, the Empire will never fall. Adrian Vass inclined his head. We are not at war. Carathis is annihilation. The transmission did. Silence followed, unbearable. Entire vessels vanished. Crews died without screaming. Regain control. Kaiser roared. Block their transmissions. Reboot our systems. But consoles remained dead. Their mighty armada, built to shatter planets, was powerless. Humans had disobeyed veering before the first shot on the cruiser Valern. One officer managed Torrestor comms. Captain Diaro appeared. On screen, sweat poured down his scaled face. We're inside the ship, he said. No breaches, but they're here. Kazar's blood ran cold. How many? Diaro shook his head. Only one. Then the signal Q10. Another vessel gone. Panic spread like wildfire. Crew fled. Protocol officers ran, but escape was impossible. Dropships failed. No engines worked. The fleet was shamed, dying. Deploy the sentries. Kazar barked. Target those phantom ships. Or Apolli nodded. Hunter drones launch at hundreds, trained to target anything not Dominion. They swarmed into the abyss, then stopped mid-flight. Every drone froze, then turned against their own fleet. Without hesitation, Dominion missiles were torn apart. The Iron Fang, their most armored carrier, took fire from its own automated guns. A reactor erupted in blue-white flame. Then a full drone squadron rammed the command deck. As a burst of destruction followed. Kazar screamed, "They're using our own weapons against us." His voice drowned in alarms and death system failure sirens crease off dying warriors. This wasn't just defeat, it was humiliation. Then a message text only. "This is not war, this is a warning." Kazar's breathing slowed, claws dug into his seat, teeth clenched at this bloodbath. This annihilation hair refused to accept it. "If we die, we take Earth with us. Prime the plasma cannon." Zara's voice shook. "Admiral, my hands, I can't move them." He grabbed her collar. "Theo, kill us anyway," he hissed. Zara's trembling hand reached for the controlled Sovereign Fang superweapon. "Forgotten Stars." I began to charge. The ship ground under the power. But even Earth was defended. Even as they did, would make them suffer. And then the ship stopped moving. No alarms, no warning, just nothing. Kazar felt it. Before he saw it, its presence. Something was on the bridge. The airbane cold shadows extended. Wherever there was no light. His eye officers gasped in horror. Some scrambled for weapons. Others stood paralyzed, unable to comprehend the impossible. Kazar turned. The individual was standing there alone. A man, no armor, no obvious weaponry, simply a figure dressed in black. His eyes were less expressive than void of space. He had no heat signature. He was simply there. The bridge crew was paralyzed. The guards moved first, elevating their rifles. Their fingertips touched the triggers. Their bodies collapsed into themselves. Bones snapped, organs folded. They were eliminated. Kazar forced himself to remain still. He had confronted death before. He had stared into the abyss and lot. But this wasn't death. There was something beyond it, something human. Then it finally spoke. The old ones were right. Kirk's mouth went dry. "You should have listen." The lights flickered. The bridge crew was gone in one moment. Care was the only one who remained. He looked into those human eyes, attempting to find anything behind them. There was no anger, no hatred, no triumph, only finality. Kazar forced himself to speak. "What are you?" The human took a step closer. Care felt his body begin to fail. His skin cracked like glass. His vision distorted. His thoughts were no longer his own. The void was claiming him, and he knew deep down this was not war, this was correction. The last thing he heard before dying was the human voice whispering through eternity. "You were told." The vacuum had devoured him. Kazar stood defiant for a moment. His body trembled from fear and wrath, and then the universe imploded around him. The sovereigns, Bridge Fong and his crew no longer existed. Officers, war machines, alganesolans surrounded him like a suffocating cloak, and he realized with dawning fear that he was standing nowhere, neither in space, nor on his ship, not even in death. He was trapped in something deeper, even worse. A murmur chode, not in his ears, but in his consciousness. It seeped into the very marrow of his being. I listened to the human voice, emotional, not spoken, but sense stretching over time itself. Kazar opened his mouth to snarl, to hate, to disobey, but no words came. There was no air. His body only thought. Then the memories came, but they were not his visions. Images, flashes of war.